Hey guys, welcome back to Young Americans Abroad, your best place to find weekly content on young American soccer players playing overseas. My name's Austin Van Churn.
And my name's Patrick Ferry.
And welcome to our show. So guys, we're back this week with a regular episode after the U.S. friendly with Paraguay last week.
Nice 1-0 win there.
That's right.
If you haven't, make sure to check out that special episode.
Yeah, we had some good content last week.
Quality content.
Some different content. But now we're back this week. We got a few performances we want to discuss, and so let's get into it. So the first player we want to talk about this week is Lyndon Gooch, who actually saw the field for Sunderland this weekend.
That's right, Austin.
So Pat, how did he do?
Yeah, so Lyndon Gooch, during the Sunderland's relegation battle, which isn't looking so good, they had a great win over the weekend on Friday, I believe it was. A 4-1 win over Derby County, I believe. And Gooch got the 90 minutes there. His manager, Coleman, said him and a few other players that weren't seeing the field were working really hard in training that previous week, really showing some positive things, and felt like it would be a disservice to them to leave them on the bench. So it was great to see him get that opportunity on Friday. And we were watching some of the highlights, and he had a nice little nutmeg on the side there, on the flank.
Yeah.
Using that speed he has and grit and determination to draw a penalty. So that was great to see, and a nice win. But unfortunately, this Monday, they played in a 3-1 loss there against Sheffield Wednesday, which really, really hurt their chances. And we might be seeing them most likely in League One. Sorry, Stadium of Light. It's gone dark. But Lyndon Gooch also provided a nice assist during that loss. He went, I believe, not the full 90, played about 86, 85, something like that. They took him off at the end in the 80th, but he was in the corner there, trapped by a defender or two. He kind of shimmied his way out and, cut in a little bit, made a nice diagonal, beautiful cross into the box. And
it was nice.
It was a really nice cross to find the back post there. And so he did, get another assist. And I don't know, apparently Transfer Market counted 2 assists in the 2 games. I don't know how that works, but great for him, great performances, and let's just hopefully he keeps that going for however long Sunderland's in the championship for. Yeah, and it's good to see him on the field again. Yeah, it's been a while. Absolutely. But also I know another player we're both super excited about. Back in with Schalke America there.
That's right. Yeah, and that would be Nick Taitague. So Nick Taitague actually scored 2 goals over the international break this past week.
Nice.
Yeah, in a friendly with the U19s. So another story that came out, or what came out on Twitter, was he was actually training with the first team over this international break as well. So it's good to see Nick getting some opportunities with the first team to impress. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we saw him at the end of this season gain some minutes, maybe in 1 game or so at the end of the season for Schalke. I know Schalke's real high on him. If we don't see him at the end of this season, we'll probably see him play with the first team in preseason of next summer, going into next season. But he sounds like a player that Schalke have identified to keep in their plans, either to send him out on loan next year, like what Haji Wright did, or what Weston McKennie's been doing and actually playing him.
And you said also with the first team, he's been training a little bit. I know you mentioned that a bit, but just kind of here and there training with the first team. Yeah,
so I think, well, it probably wasn't his first time, but he trained, like I said, over this international break. He was injured earlier in the season. I know they wanted to have him train with the first team over the winter break, but unfortunately he had
a tough injury,
a thigh injury, I believe, or a knee injury, something leg injury.
Tough, but comeback season.
Comeback season, right? But he's been playing well for the U19s recently, starting a lot of their games, getting a lot of minutes there, which is good to see. And a little caveat, I guess, for if he's going to get minutes at the end of the season, Schalke have to be in a position to be able to give him minutes at the end of the season. So they'll either have to have clinched the Champions League position, in my opinion, and they're sitting in second right now by a good little margin over Dortmund.
Great season for them.
Yeah, it's been a good season for them. But if Nick Taitague actually will get minutes, they have to be in a good position to be able to give an unproven player minutes. So hopefully we'll see him. Hopefully Schalke will be in that position to give him minutes. And,
Definitely.
And exciting stuff from Nick Taitague.
Oh,
we'll keep you updated on the rest of his season.
And then another player as well that we're also very high in. We've touched on the show a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But a Werder Bremen player there.
Right, and that's Josh Sargent. So Josh obviously can't play in any organized games this year. He can only take part in friendlies, whether that's U19 friendlies or that's first team friendlies. So over the weekend he actually played in 5. I don't believe they're full-time friendlies.
Yeah, I thought I read something on that as well.
They weren't 90 minutes. I'm not sure how long they were, but there was 5 friendlies that he played in over the weekend and actually scored 3 goals combined in those friendlies.
Yeah, and you said, Austin, I know
good to see.
You were mentioning some of the highlights that you saw. Some of those goals were pretty nice.
Yeah.
Shot. I think he shot one. You said right over the goalie, kind of a
nice, really strong strike.
Rocket, yeah.
And then he had one chip in or tap in, I guess, at the back post. But those goals really kind of showed his off-ball movement.
Yeah, that's
showed
crucial
his,
for a
his
striker.
Smarts. And it just showed what type of quality player he is. We were talking about it earlier before we started filming. Like he's obviously been training with the U19s and also the first team a little bit, but to come in a game type situation to play under more pressure probably than you have in training, you would have to think.
Oh yeah.
Just to come in and actually score 3 goals in the limited amount of game time that he's seen this year is pretty impressive. And he scored a goal and had an assist in 2 other friendlies earlier in the year when he first moved to Werder Bremen. So in the limited amount of game time he's been given and opportunities to showcase his talent, he's taken them and he's showcased his talent. So that's really good from Josh Sargent. That's what we need when players move overseas and abroad, to get off to a good start and really show that they're players that can take their team to the next level and be worthy of given more opportunities in the future. And that's what Josh Sargent's been able to do so far.
And that's Bremen. Exciting stuff, Austin. It's just a true, testament to his character there. And especially at a young age, we don't really factor in how difficult it must be to go to a foreign country, learn a different language, and kind of integrate with a team. And you're there just for soccer. That is pretty much your life there, and it's great. Everything you mentioned and how he's acclimating so well, and really, really high in him as a really good future striker for the national team. I think so. I think you'd obviously agree too.
I think he's going to be a big part of our future with the U.S. program going forward, and hopefully Werder Bremen's program going forward. It looks like they'll stay up.
They're looking.
I don't want to maybe knock on some wood here, but I don't want to.
Knock on some
jinx
wood.
Anything. Yeah, right. Oh, geez. But it looks like they'll be staying up, so that could be a good thing for Josh Sargent. He'll be able to hopefully get some Bundesliga minutes next year. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. He still has to stay healthy and prove himself on the first team and that level. So now we want to move over to the Premier League and talk about a player who actually played really well this weekend, and that's DeAndre Yedlin.
Yeah.
So Pat, how did he do?
Yeah, so DeAndre Yedlin played this weekend, a nice 1-0 win over Huddersfield Town, and that's crucial again for Newcastle. I believe they're 7 or 8 points above that relegation area, the relegation zone. So that's great to stay above that and sitting right in the middle of the table. And DeAndre Yedlin actually was named, we were going through Twitter, it was like the Fantasy Premier League Team of the weekend, and ESPN FC also mentioned that as well as a defender for the Team of the Weekend, and that's a great accolade for him and a true testament to what we've been mentioning on this show all season, as he has been known for that attacking, the attacking outside back, getting up, making some good runs and crosses, but really showing that he's developing under Benitez, and it is a great move, in my opinion. I think he's done really well with his chances, and I just hope he does well going forward there.
Now, there was another, I guess, stat. Would you call it a stat that came out, or kind of a list? So do you want to go into that maybe a little bit?
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. But yeah, I think it was CIES. I'll have to correct the acronym, but it was almost this... it looked like the statistical study, I guess you could almost say.
It was like an index kind of.
Yeah, an index of, for the month of March,
it was.
The players, all Premier League defenders, I think it was specifically fullbacks and outside backs, on how they ranked through their technical skill. I think there's a lot of other things like
their stats.
Their stats, essentially. And, and so it's categorized on a, 100-point system.
Right.
We can, obviously, if you want to check it out online, look more into it. But DeAndre Yedlin was included in the top 10, actually number 8 on that list of Premier League outside backs. So for the month of April, so that kind of
pretty good accolade.
Yeah, it's a pretty good accolade as well. Again, like I mentioned, it shows that he is really developing and flourishing as a Premier League outside back, which is one of the best leagues in the world.
That's true. Yeah.
But and Austin, I know another player we're going to shift over into Portugal here. That's
right.
With Keaton Parks over at Benfica. He played for the B team in a 3-2 loss against Santa Clara, I believe it's pronounced. But
not the university.
Yeah, not the But anyway, he played about, I think it was like 89 minutes. It's nice to see him again starting for that Benfica B, as the first team is in first place in Liga NOS there, battling for that spot and that title, which is exciting. Hopefully we'll see him get some more appearances like we've been mentioning, Austin. But we were also, just to bring him up a little bit, as we were discussing on our last episode, we were thinking Keaton Parks was one of the players kind of on the fringe there, would have liked to see him included on that roster, but also not too upset because he hasn't got as many maybe first team chances. So what are kind of your thoughts or opinions on that?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to see him on that roster, obviously with all the young talent that was called up to that roster. But you never know. We probably wouldn't have seen him even if he did get called up.
That's true.
We only used 4 of our 6 substitutions. But
lies.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I think he's done enough to deserve a call up and deserve a look. So hopefully in the near future. I know we got some friendlies coming up in June, but I'm not sure if maybe he's the type of player we'll call up for those friendlies. We'll probably try to call up some more proven players in those friendlies. But hey, if he proves himself over the last part of the season and starts to get more minutes with Benfica and impresses, hey, why not call him up?
Why not, right?
See what he's like.
What do you have to lose? But shifting back to the Bundesliga here, Austin.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we want to?
I don't know. You take it from here.
Maybe I should do this. Cover up the crest a little bit.
The Michael Jordan.
The crying face emoji. We're gonna think about editing that in, but
we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so Christian Pulisic got his team got annihilated this weekend, 6-0. And Christian Pulisic actually was maybe the only bright spot in that game. He played pretty well as you could play in a 6-0 loss.
To Bayern, that's tough.
Yeah. I said the past, present, and future champions of the Bundesliga. But yeah, it was a bad game for Dortmund over the weekend. Like I said, Christian Pulisic looked pretty good going forward. I don't think he really had any opportunities to score in the game. It's been so long, I feel, since I saw the game, kind of put it out of my mind. But no, he looked exciting, looked dynamic the entire game. Actually didn't play the whole game, got subbed off, I believe, in somewhere in the 70th minute or something.
Like that.
Maximilian Philip came on for him, which I didn't understand why he got subbed off. But anyway, not a good performance for Dortmund.
Doesn't look like Dortmund's coach is probably staying after this season either.
Which I'd love to get into more, but that's not for this video.
That's true.
But yeah, so then going on to our next player, and I believe we want to talk about Julian Green, who played 89 minutes this weekend for Greuther Fürth in their 2-1 win. And this is important because Greuther Fürth, with this win, are actually in 11th or tied for 11th in the 2 Bundesliga, which is cool to see, since just about a month ago they were sitting in 17th place and looking at getting relegated.
Yeah, really climbing the table there. And Green's part of that.
Yeah, he's been a major part of it. So ever since they moved him into the middle, into a more of a cam position, although this weekend he actually played in the striker position. Didn't score, but looked good from the few highlights I saw of the game. But ever since he moved more to the inside from his position as a winger, they've played a lot better. They've gotten more wins and picked up more points. So a lot of it, I think, can be attributed to that move and that shift that's really kind of reignited their midfield, and then also has helped them going forward in attack. But we want to also touch on another team in the two Bundesliga while we're on the two Bundesliga, and that would be Darmstadt, who currently are sitting in 17th place.
A sinking ship over there.
Yeah, it looks like it. And they're currently 5 points back from the safety zone. So there's only 6 games left on their schedule. So it's really not looking likely. It looks like they're going to get relegated, unfortunately. And that's important because another young American player is on that team, and that's Mackenzie Gaines, who hasn't really seen the field much this year.
Talked about him a little bit of the Bund Americans account there.
He's one of my players I was really excited about going into the year, but just hasn't really gotten on the field much for whatever the reason that is. Just moved from Wolfsburg last year. Thought Darmstadt would be a good team for him to really prove his worth, but unfortunately Darmstadt have not had a good year. I really think they're going to get relegated. Just looking at their next couple of games, they're playing some of the better teams in the two Bundesliga. But just thought I wanted to mention that while we were on the topic of the two Bundesliga, talking about Julian Green. So yeah, something to keep an eye on. See what happens to Mackenzie Gaines. Maybe at the end of the season he'll get a few minutes, just because Darmstadt will feel that they got to do something to reignite their fan base and get some young players on the field. Or he'll move on at the end of the year, or play in the 3 Liga next year. So we'll keep an eye on him. And so Pat, do you want to finish with a new player that we haven't talked about yet so far during our show? And that would be
Emmanuel Savvy, Austin.
Yeah, that's right.
So the young 20-year-old for Hobro. Hobro.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. Comment below. Yeah. But it was exciting to see him get his first goal.
First professional goal.
First professional goal.
Yep.
And the 45th minute, and it was a rocket. Unfortunately, they lost that game, but he was kind of off of a throw in there, and a few passes were made, but he received the ball with his back facing the goal, turned really, really quickly, which is great, and beat 2 defenders and obviously the goalie in a perfect upper 90, right in the top left corner of the goal.
Picturesque.
It was picturesque, and that's exciting, especially for young players' confidence. And he also celebrated with a Aubameyang-like little celebration at the end of some flips.
Yeah. Did a cartwheel to a backflip.
A cartwheel. But it's exciting for Emmanuel Savvy, as we haven't really mentioned him much. I believe he was actually born in Italy.
Yeah.
So he has a little Italian, but came over, played, I believe, for Chicago Magic, or one of those Chicago club teams in the U.S. here, and also moved over to Las Palmas, I believe.
Yep. Spent, I think, a year or 2 at Las Palmas.
Yeah, and then kind of transferred over in the last year or so, I think in August.
August or April?
Yeah, I think it was August.
Okay.
Yeah,
August.
In the fall there.
Okay.
Yes, to Hobro, and it's great to see him getting some minutes there with the reserve team, and also getting his first professional goal with the first team.
Yeah.
So we can expect.
I think he's played in 9 games so far.
Yeah.
For the first team, which is honestly that's pretty good for 20 years old. And in the Danish league, which we've seen other players from America find some sort of success there.
Sure.
Whether that's Jonathan Amon, Perry Kitchen, I guess never really did find success. In the Danish league, but yeah, it's a decent league. I think it's somewhat comparable to the MLS. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too nice to them, or maybe I'm being too nice to the MLS. I don't know.
Another debate for another time, right?
Yeah, but that's exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, and we hope to hear. I hope you guys to hear more about Emmanuel Savvy and the future going forward with a lot of these young American players, Austin.
That's right.
And now, heading into our final segment, Quick Kicks.
So you could test Dwayne Miller. It's Altidore over the wall, and that one is in! Josie Altidore from a long way out. The opening goal for the United States.
Starting off with Conrad de la Fuente, who actually scored a goal in Barcelona Juvenil-B's action in the Mediterranean International Cup.
And Timothy Tillman scored a goal this past weekend for Bayern's U19s in their friendly win.
And Eric Palmer-Brown entered in the 81st minute with KV Kortrek's 4-1 win over Vaslin Beveren.
And Timothy Weah actually traveled with PSG in their League Cup final with Morocco. However, he was not in the 18 for PSG's win.
And Matt Miazga, another disappointing 3-0 loss to Roda there.
So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like this video and subscribe down below to our channel.
And once again, we have some great quality content on our Twitter and Instagram accounts.
And if you want, leave a comment in our comment section. We'd love to interact with you guys.
I think there's one more thing missing to end out the show, Austin.
I think so too.
Would you like to take it away?
Yeah, I'd love to. One day, we will win the World Cup.